Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to another installment of Home Solutions. Hope everyone's doing well today. It is hot this time of year. But Dennis Purvis is in this nice air-conditioned studio at Mix 104.1. So thank you, Steve, for paying your light bill. We really appreciate it. As always, we are your local area's only home and garden show where we try to get, tips and tricks and some local folks, small businesses that can help you around your home. And today we have got something we've never had on the show. I'm super excited about it. We'll get to that in just a second. Just remember, as always, brought to you by your local friendly neighborhood general contractor, Pro 93 Home Solutions. I'm a little biased as one of the owners. So, but folks, whatever we can do to help you out, if you're looking big or small, maybe you're just looking for a bathroom or a kitchen remodel, maybe a detached garage, maybe you want to finish a basement, all the way up to a custom home. We would love to partner with you and your family. Whatever your dreams are, we want to try to make it a reality. We'll try to work with everybody's budget, everybody's financing, however you want to do. And a special announcement, we take cash, so you're allowed to pay us in cash. We like that too. Just give us a call, 458-4135, or look us up online, pro93homesolutions.com. If you'll click that Contact Us tab, that comes directly to us. We'll get you scheduled. Give us your info. We'll get you scheduled for a free estimate. Don't forget about Dalfina and our clean team. They are itching to come out, whether you got residential or commercial cleaning. That's another part of our business that we would love to help you out with. Again, 458-4135, whether you're looking for a deep clean, maybe a move in, a move out. Maybe you want to get the house clean before the kids get back to school, which is coming around the corner, by the way. Maybe you've got one moving into the dorms or moving into an apartment. You want to get it clean before they get in there. Maybe you've got a business. You're looking for something weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. We would love to help you out. Remember, we do offer Green Clean with our Melaleuca products. If you got someone that just does not like that smell of ammonia, chlorine, the pine sol, or maybe asthma, allergies, they just don't like those, we can do that at no additional charge. All natural products, and get your house clean and spick and span. Again, 458-4135 or pro93homesolutions.com. So there's your commercial for the week. Now it's time, folks. It's been so hot. There's only one thing that I want this time of year, is that I'm not as fat as I used to be, but I'm still a fat man at heart, and I don't like it being this hot because I don't like to sweat. I don't like to sleep I like it a balmy 42 degrees when I crawl into bed. But I tell you what I want more than anything: a pool, an ocean, somewhere to get away, a vacation. And folks, have I got a treat today. We've got Not on the Clock Travel with us, Dave and Stephanie Stone. Guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Glad you guys could join us today. And you guys are a full-service travel agency.
That's correct.
Based right here in Cleveland, right?
That's right.
So listen, before we get going any further, let's talk about the Not on the Clock story. How did you guys get into this? What drove you here? And I hope it's a love for all things ocean, because that would just make me happy. But how did you guys get here? And tell everybody a little bit of your story.
You want to start?
Sure. So we have lived here almost our whole lives. I mean, we are Cleveland people. I've been here 35 years. Mm-hmm. How long have you lived in Cleveland?
Oh, wow. I moved here in middle school, and I'm
And you're about 100.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
He said you're about 100.
Yeah.
To be clear, you guys are married, right?
We are married.
If you couldn't tell by that comment.
Happily married, yes.
Yeah. He threw that part in real quick. It's not bad for 100-year-olds. I mean, he's doing good.
Yeah, I've learned.
Yes.
He's learned.
So we're both educators here in Cleveland. We work for Cleveland City Schools, and we love our jobs, and we love our kids. And the other thing that we love is getting out of town and traveling the world on our breaks. And that's really a great thing about education, is we do have so many breaks throughout the year that we can travel. And so that is kind of where our love began. When our kids were younger, we took them on the cheapest things that we could find, but now we are empty nesters. We have 3 adult children.
Wow.
And a brand new daughter-in-law. Hey, Rebecca. And so as our kids moved out, we found that we just continued every break to start exploring different areas and the Caribbean is our favorite.
And it's
so-
way better without kids.
It's way cheaper without
It's way
kids,
cheaper.
that's for sure.
Preach,
That's the truth.
preach.
Yes. And so we plan family vacations, and we plan, honeymoons, and for couples, and really for anybody, a family reunion. We can really do anything, and we really can plan anywhere. Our expertise, I would say, is in the Caribbean, just because that's where we choose to travel on our breaks the most.
You guys have personal experience you can share from those places, right?
Yeah.
When you were doing those
And
things.
so, this really started out of that passion, and even the name comes from, because we really love our work. We work hard, but we're like, what do we do when we're not working? So that's where the not on the clock came.
And that's KNOT. See what they did there? See what they did there,
a little
everybody?
clever.
Not on the clock. KNOT, on the clock travel. Yeah, so you guys, what made you make the decision? I mean, obviously you guys have been, you had probably turned yourselves into, let's just say, how do you say, I guess, pseudo-professional travel planners by just planning your own trips. What was the impetus to make the leap from, all right, we're doing this for ourselves, we want to start doing this for other people?
Yeah.
You want me to talk a little bit about the sailing trips?
Sure.
Is really where. So before we turned this into a business, several years ago, we started doing annual trips down to the British Virgin Islands, which is world renowned for sailing. And what it's really known for is what they call bareboat chartering. That's where you basically rent a big sailboat for a week, and the bareboat means you're going to be your own captain. And so several years ago, we started taking trips annually when school would get out. So every June, we would go down to the BVIs. We'd get a group together, and we would just all pull our money together, rent a big boat, and just island hop for a week. And we just really fell in love with that, to the point we're like, we should see if we can turn this into a business. I was really interested in the charter business. So one of my dreams is eventually being getting my captain's license to do charters. So that was kind of how, when we first started, we're like, let's start planning these trips. And so that's something we really specialize, have a lot of knowledge on. If there's anyone out there that's interested in doing bareboat charters down in the British Virgin Islands or around in the Caribbean, we have a lot of experience with that.
And can I pause and explain that these boats are not. So he had a lot of sailing experience.
That's what's going to be my next question, because right now that sounded great, except for the be your own captain,
right?
Because that means I got to go down with the ship, and I don't know anything about boats.
So he's been to sailing school. He's done things, right?
That makes
I
sense.
can't tie a knot to save my life. He's trying to teach me, but so when he first started talking about this, before I ever went for the first time, I was picturing just kind of like. I don't know, I've been on a boat on the lake before, and I've seen sailboats where you're like, sailing. And so that's kind of what I had in my mind. And then when he started showing me videos of these boats are really apartments on the water, so they're catamarans, so they're very stable.
Okay.
And so the ones that we take, let's say it's a 4-cabin, what that means is there are 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms.
Like it already?
Yes, and then upstairs is a big kitchen and living area, and so it really is like you're just taking the resort with you everywhere that you go. So I would like to say that, because there might be people out there who, like me, have a totally different picture in your mind of roughing it.
Yes.
And it's probably, there's a little camping involved, right? Like your bathrooms are not huge or those types of things, but the places that we go are pretty nice.
So for those folks that this sounds, it's like, it sounds amazing. I'm still concerned about what happens if you don't have sailing experience. Can you rent a captain? I guess is my next thing. How do you do those kind of things?
Exactly. So if somebody wanted to go down and had no experience, you would charter the boat. Typically, people do it for a week at a time, and you can get what they call a skipper. This is just like somebody that's going to be on the boat who's licensed to take you around, but then they kind of stay out of your way. Or you can take it to the next level where you do like what they call a full crewed charter, and this is where you really get pampered, where you have a captain and a crew that they're bringing you food, they're taking care of every need. we can't afford that, so
Yeah.
we do the. I mean,
Yeah.
it gets really expensive when you get into the full.
Oh, I'm sure.
Crude, but
Yeah.
I mean, you see like the below deck.
Yeah, you're going to
kind of
say.
stuff,
I think
right?
there's a reality show.
Right. So, but no, these are. But because I had some sailing experience and really fell in love with this. My father was had a sailboat growing up. We did a lot of sailing together. And back in 2003, my dad took me and my brothers. We all went down to the British Virgin Islands and did a week bareboating. So that's where I fell in love with it. And then we started in around 2020, right around the pandemic, when we started. But anyway, so you have a wide range of options. If you are qualified to captain your own boat, you can do that. But there are a lot of options from a skipper all the way up to a full crew.
That's fantastic. And if folks are listening right now, and then anything we're going to talk about here in the next little bit, how do they get a hold of you guys? What's the best way for them to find out some details on some of these trips?
Okay, so our website is notontheclock.com. That's just a great place to go. And then my phone number that you can call directly or text anytime is 423-715-5225. And you can also find us at Not on the Clock on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm not a social media expert, but I'm doing my best.
You do. It looks good. And remember, Not is K-N-O-T,
That's
folks.
right.
K-N-O-T. Play on that. So you guys said that you've got, the Caribbean is your kind of your forte. I've been there. I'm a cruiser. Mm-hmm. Love cruises just because I don't like making decisions.
Yes.
And I like options, and I'm cheap. That's probably going to be on my headstone. My girls, I promise you, will make sure that's on my headstone. But favorite place, just before, personally, not professionally, favorite place that you guys went to in the Caribbean?
So we go to the Virgin Islands enough, and that's the U.S. Virgin Islands or the British Virgin Islands. For me, the people there, especially on the British side, are absolutely incredible, and I feel like we have made friends there that are like family.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's first, but if I took that out of the equation, maybe Aruba.
That was absolutely going to be my...
Yeah.
We love Aruba.
Aruba is... when I was there last year, first of all, the quality of the beaches,
Yes.
they got the ABC Islands down there, and you go over to Curacao, which is more of a lava island. So it's like getting in and out of the water is just, you got to have water shoes or you're cutting your feet all up. Aruba's beaches were pristine. And one of the things I love there, I'll talk to a houseplant, I'm shying backwards like that, but talking to our taxi driver, finding out like you cannot be a taxi driver in Aruba unless you were born in Aruba. They protect their economy. They protect their people. It led to some great finds for us because I'm one of those, I don't need the excursion you got planned for me. I'm going to go get an adventure on my own, right? And you get in a taxi and be like, take me to the restaurant you would eat at. Don't take me I don't need to go to Bubba Gump's. Take me to the place you would eat.
Okay, and the food. Are you a foodie?
Uh-huh.
Aruba is incredible.
Yes.
Every restaurant is incredible.
Yeah, it was one of the, now it's like a place we were there for a day. I can't wait to go back for a week, for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's definitely, and again, and I don't know that I've been anywhere in the Caribbean where the people weren't just phenomenal. Tourism is such a part of their economy, such a big piece. Everybody's invested. Yeah. I don't care where you work. It just seems like everybody understands this is the cash cow. We probably need to be nice to everybody.
Yeah, sure.
And I know we're annoying as Americans. Like, I see people from other countries on. You don't see people from other countries complaining on a cruise ship or complaining to the restaurant or It's always the Karens from America. Some guy with a fanny pack. I mean, it's just what it is. It's just who we are.
Right.
But listen, we're up against it. Listen, we come back. We're going to talk more about some other options they've got, some land, sea packages they've got. We're going to talk more with David and Stephanie Stone from Not on the Clock Travel. Hang in there. Don't touch that dial. You've been listening to Home Solutions right here on Mix 104.1 and ESPN Cleveland. Are you tired of going to YouTube or Google for answers to your home improvement questions? Maybe you have more projects than you have time. No matter where you are in the process, Pro 93 Home Solutions is ready to serve you. Pro 93 is a local, veteran-owned company offering residential and commercial remodeling, cleaning, and security. Contact us today at 458-4135 or online at pro93homesolutions.com. Let the pros at Pro 93 find the solution for your home or business. That's 458-4135. Welcome back, everybody, to Home Solutions. Happy Saturday. Thank you guys for listening, no matter how you're listening this morning. Hope you're having a great Saturday as you're zipping around town, maybe in your car listening to us, or truck as you're headed out to do your errands and honey-do list for the day. Maybe some of you are streaming us on the Mix 1041 app or online. And we'll wave to everybody in Facebook world. Hi, guys. And we're excited to have David and Stephanie Stone from Not on the Clock Travel here with us. Folks, I got excited. All the first segment did is make me want to plan another vacation. Good. So I'm gonna have to call you guys. We're gonna have to get that going. So we talked a little bit about kind of a specific kind of stuff that you guys have, which I had never even heard of, the bear boating there in BVI's. So let's talk about some of the other. I'll let you guys start where you want to. What's another kind of package that you guys see that is, maybe the best value, or what you're seeing that's very popular right now? Talk a little bit about some other things you guys have right now to offer folks.
Sure. So one thing we found is we love sailing. Not everybody loves sailing. That's not everybody's cup of tea, or maybe they just don't know if they would, or maybe they don't want to be that close to the people that they're traveling with. And so part of us branching out and becoming a full-service travel agency was really just that, and reaching out and finding out what are people interested in when they travel. And it's probably a lot the same that you and I are interested in. So what we probably sell the most, I would say, are all-inclusive resorts.
Yes.
Because many times, especially when you're working as hard as we are, well, all you want is to pay for everything up front, and you want to fly somewhere, you want someone to pick you up at the airport and take you to your resort, and you don't want to leave, and you don't want to worry about how much everything costs, and you just want to relax.
You just described my dream vacation. Yes, I like every piece of that.
Yes, and so that is a pretty big part of what we sell, and we love an all-inclusive vacation too. The other thing I would say is pretty high on most people's list are cruises.
Yeah.
And that, a lot of that can be cost savings. Flights are more expensive now than they used to be.
Yeah.
And depending on the season and depending on the port, you can drive from here to, say, Port Canaveral and not have to worry about the flying piece.
It's an 8-hour drive, folks.
Yeah.
You can make it. We even did Tampa.
Yeah.
Went out of Tampa. Is actually a little bit closer than Canaveral the last time we went. And it was, being able to do that and not have to worry about the flying part. But, I think on either one of those, that's what I love about the cruise portion, is it's all inclusive. Mm-hmm. Like, what it's going to be. Anything extra, you kind of know what if you want to gamble, you can gamble. If you want to buy extra souvenirs, you know what it's going to be. I dig most boats are cashless, mm-hmm. Where you just have your little pass, your card, your room card, and everything kind of goes on that. And those things. There's freaking cities on the ocean.
Yes.
Like the last one we went on had a Central Park.
Yes.
I'm still
Oasis class, Royal Caribbean.
Yes. Thank you. Going on another one in November.
Oh, which one?
We're going to Utopia, the new one. We're going to check it out.
So that one, is just starting this weekend.
Yeah. So we're going to check that out in November. But it is, and honestly, what's crazy is I spent all this money to go to the Caribbean, and that Central Park thing was like my favorite part.
Yeah. It's so beautiful. Oh, you feel like you're in a city.
Yeah, and just to be able to, and I'm still trying to figure out where all the roots are, because those are real trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this can't be safe, but apparently it is. No, but it's the all-inclusive part, especially everybody, everybody's worried about how far their dollar's going, and being able to know. And I think a lot of these too is it the same way with resorts, like when you do cruises, that if you're planning something months you don't have to pay it all right now. It's something you can pay a deposit, and you can pay on. Rent-A-Center layaway style. It's how my, I didn't get a Christmas present for years. It didn't come off Kmart layaway, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But that's something that people can work into their budget and not feel like they've got to drop thousands of dollars all at once.
Yes, and in fact, I'm glad you brought that up because I do think so we're educators, and part of what we do is educate, even in this job. And so I think a lot of times it feels like if we just kind of wait and save up all our money and then kind of at the last minute decide what we want to do, then we'll have everything taken care of. The only issue with that, though, is you're going to be paying more when you wait till the last minute. So by planning ahead, typically what we can do is put a deposit down. Some cruises are maybe $100 a person deposit.
Absolutely.
And you can book up to 1 or 2 years in advance and then make payments throughout the way so that it's not overwhelming all at once, and you get the room you want and you get the ship you want and all of that. And it's the same with all-inclusives.
So what is for folks that are out there, and I mean with the growth of the online, most, talk about cruises specifically, most of them have their own websites where you book through. I don't like trusting that because it just seems like a lot to trust, and I have trust issues as it is, and I'm not going to trust the AI, right? I want to talk to somebody. What's one of the perks for someone working through a travel agent to schedule these kind of things versus just going online or to one of the, the travel buster sites there? Oh, we'll get you the best deal guaranteed. And, we've got last minute deals and all this. What's one of the reasons folks need a travel agent?
I just keep talking, but do you want to talk about?
Well, I'll say a few things. You'll probably go a little deeper than I will, but I think to dispel a myth, one thing I didn't realize, I thought, well, if I go to a travel agent, I'm paying them too on top of it. Well, that's a myth. It doesn't cost you anything to use a travel agent, so you're not going to spend more money using a travel agent. The benefit is, she mentioned it's good to plan a trip out a good year, maybe 2 years in advance. Well, what if you book a trip and then the price changes? The beauty of having a travel agent, she watches. We've already had clients that have booked, and then when the prices change, if they go down, she has the ability to rebook that trip and save you that money. So if you go book it yourself, Royal Caribbean's not going to call you up.
I've tried that. It is not. And hey, by the way, we're going to give you back $300.
Right, they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
But Stephanie will. She has done that already for multiple clients, and so. And if you're just going to drive down and jump on the boat, you probably can do it yourself. But most people have situations where are they considering flying? Or are they looking at a port outside of Florida? Yeah. For example, we're taking a trip on is it Norwegian, and we're going to fly out of San Juan, Puerto Rico. And you're like, why would you do that? Well, you get a different group of people, and we love children. We love being around children. But, when you work with children, you're kind of like, I'd kind of like being on a cruise with a few less children. And so those are the kind of things that we've learned. Like you can, if you go to Puerto Rico, for example, you're not going to have as many, it's going to be more adults.
Absolutely.
And so you have different cruises that are designed for different, some are designed for families, some are designed for older couples. So those are the kind of things you're going to get that advice from a travel agent. And
I've even noticed some of those trips, though, the cruises, the flight's going to cost you is more to get to San Juan. Mm-hmm. But the cruises are sometimes ridiculously less than if you did go out of Florida. Yeah. You kind of get that difference pretty quick. And I didn't even think about the fact that it would be less kids. I might be going out of San Juan next time.
Well, I mean, you always think different calendars.
Yes, yeah. So you think, but you think about those things, and I know for me when I was younger, I didn't mind Carnival, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not putting down anybody that loves Carnival. I'm just telling you, as I've gotten older, there's less single people on Royal Caribbean. There's less kids, and there's also way more jazzy scooters. So I get it. I'm getting old.
But we're getting close.
I'm going to be on one of those in the next 20 years. My knees are shot. I mean, are you kidding me? There's not a chance. But no, but it's, there's, the nice thing is now is that I think, and that's another reason you said education is not only what you guys do, but in the travel business, there are now cruise lines for basically different demographics. Yeah. That what you're looking for, and even within each cruise line now, they've got different itineraries that kind of fit, if you got, here's what you want to do if you want to get kids. Here's what you want to do if you want to do this. And it's having those kind of options and having somebody that knows this, I think is kind of invaluable on that. And but I will tell you, that's a myth I totally bought into because I'm a businessman. Right. I understand that, everybody's making money somehow.
Right.
And if I'm using if there's a middleman, how are they getting paid?
So can I, this is something I learned that I thought was really fascinating because I, in the past, had not used a travel agent.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not like I just grew up travel agenting. So when we book directly through, say, Royal Caribbean, great example, and I love them, they're getting commission. The company's keeping that.
It's like a house deal.
Yeah. So when you use a travel agent, we have complimentary consultations and we do not charge any fees. So I try to save you money when I can. But even if I can get you the same price, the reality is what you're doing is helping a small business because the commission is going to us rather than staying with Royal Caribbean.
So there is no reason for anybody not to call you.
Right. And then we provide cruising guides, which are really helpful for first-time cruisers especially. Yes. We are the ones, if you do need to make a change or if you have a question, instead of being on the phone with Royal Caribbean for an hour or however long and trying to get an answer, and I'll be honest, even on the travel agent side, sometimes you'll get 3 or 4 different answers when you call.
Yeah.
You just shoot me a text and I will take care of it for you. And so I think the value that we can provide is just the service. You know us, we're here, we're from here, we're going to take care of you. And my commitment is we've got kids, we have family, and we go on vacation a lot. And I will plan your trip with the very same attention to detail and care as if I'm planning my own. Actually, probably more. He can attest to that because I worry about our travelers, especially our honeymooners.
Well, and then you get stuff like what happened this past week, is if you were in the Gulf, you were going out of Galveston or New Orleans. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a hurricane.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody's there. What do you do when the cruise line says, "Hey, you're not going anywhere."
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
And that's. It is frustrating. And having somebody to call, to me, again, I don't like talking to what I think might be an AI. Like I believe I saw Terminator. Skynet's real. They're coming for us. I want to talk to human people. I want to talk to.
Well, we are human people.
Yes, I can look. There it is.
Here I am.
Look at it there.
Well,
they're real. They're not holograms.
And you mentioned AI. When you get on the internet, there's great information, but there's also a lot of bad information.
Yes.
So little things like one thing that's real popular now is Alaskan cruises. Mm-hmm. And so depending on your itinerary, it will affect whether or not you need a passport.
Yeah.
You get on the internet and you're like, do I need a passport to go to Alaska? You're going to get all kind of different. You need somebody who can tell you exactly, like, do you need a passport? Do you not need a passport? Those kind of things.
It's a little different if you're going out of Seattle. Sometimes I don't think people realize Canada is another country.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Vancouver is not in the United States.
Right.
So yeah, how do people get a hold of you guys one more time before we get off here?
Yeah. So the easiest thing probably to remember is Not on the Clock with a K, KNOT.com. Or you can call me or text me anytime. My number is 423-715-5225. And then you can also find us at Not on the Clock on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
And so one of the things we do every week, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
One of the things we do every week with whoever we have in here is we give folks tips. We have a lot of DIYers. And, we've got a lot of DIYers out there that like to do their own travel. Mm-hmm. So, and this is if you're crazy and not going to call them, which you're nuts if you don't. If you're not going to call them, what's your, give me maybe 1 or 2 tips that you would give someone who's planning a trip, let's say to the Caribbean, things they need to think about that maybe there's either conflicting stuff on the web or something people would never think about.
Oh, I've got it. Can I take this?
Do it.
I have stuff to tell people. Okay.
Here we go.
So this is the elementary school person in me right now. All right. So the first thing is if you don't have a passport or if you haven't gotten one in a while and it's expired, let's just go ahead and take care of that right now, even if you don't plan to travel anytime soon. Because what I see a lot are people who they maybe weren't expecting to have the time off or the money or whatever, then they decide they want to travel, but now they're worried that their passport won't get here in time.
Yep.
And so for kids, I think under 16, they're good for 5 years, and for adults, they're good for 10 years.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and start that process. Check your passports once a year for expiration. One thing a lot of people don't know is that some countries require you to have 6 months validity of your passport before you travel, and so you need to make sure when it expires. So I say check that every year. And then finally, I would say if you're looking for a good deal on an all-inclusive, the places you need to look are Mexico, Jamaica, and Dominican Republic. Start with those three because that's where you're going to find the best prices and the cheapest flights.
And also, don't go to Haiti right now. Listen, this has been fantastic. We'll get you guys back on here soon because I feel like we could talk about so much more. But listen, thank you guys, not only for what you do in our schools, but for coming up with a great business and sharing some stuff with us today. Folks, we've had Dave and Stephanie Stone from Not on the Clock Travel. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Listen,
Really appreciate it.
Just remember to go home, love on your family, love on your neighbor, and remember, we're all in this together. You've been listening to Home Solutions right here on Mix 104.1 and ESPN Cleveland.